Hi, everyone. Welcome to my talk on thinking. Today I'm going to talk about the concept logical fallacies. Logical fallacy means a fallacy in logic. A fallacy means error, error in logical reasoning. So this one generally occurs in conversations, arguments. So what type of fallacies are there? We now are going to talk about them. Yeah. So what happens when fallacy occurs? When fallacy occurs, that means that it is misleading conversation. It is misleading towards something that is not truth. It is deviating from the main topic. So when it is deviating from the main topic or truth, that is not valuable. So all these things are there, and particularly we need this concept in communication patterns to understand communication patterns. So now I'm going to talk about them, the different fallacies. Now the first one is called personal attack. So when some person is unable to argue, sometimes when he intends to win argument rather than giving exact details in terms of truth, exact supportive arguments in terms of truth, so he may turn to some personal attack. And if he's not finding any answer to some question, he may turn to personal attacks. Sometimes it happens in conversations among people generally observe. For example, a student may say, uniforms. I think uniforms are not important. So rather than explaining about that thing, how why uniforms are significant in schools or colleges, rather than talking about that thing, if some teacher says that you are irresponsible students, that's why you are saying so, it's something like that, without explaining, without making him know about the significance of uniforms or something like that, it happens. It's called logical fallacy. That is called that can categorized as personal attack. Okay. The next one is called strawman. Strawman in the sense misrepresenting or exaggerating some point. So, for example, a person may say that we should have strict rules on car emissions. So the other person might say that car emissions, strict rules. So you want to ban all the cars and forces to walk on roads. So actually, the significance of the first statement is not like that actually. In fact, a situation where he may say that because of some situations and traffic, all those things, he might have said that. But the other person is in some way, maybe it is also taken into some attacking the nature, sometimes if it is. So he is misleading the conversation that cars, we want to ban all the cars and we you force us to walk on roads. So something like that, that is not relevant actually to the context or situation. That may happen sometimes. That is misrepresenting. So some misrepresenting some or exaggerating about the points, exaggerating in terms of a negative way. The other one is called false dilemma. The false dilemma in the sense, you know, you are with us or you are against us. So you are with us or you are against us. Now you say there is a midpoint actually, the possibility. Some person can be neutral without involving into the argument, into the situation, into some dispute. But it is some kind of force that is you are with us or you are against us. So that is a forcible point, a forcible point. I mean, uh, that forces a person to take a decision immediately to come to support, to come to to come to certain side. So this is also some logical fallacy. And another fallacy is that a slippery slope, that is called something like arguing that one small step will lead to extreme consequences. That is without evidence. For example, if we allow students to use calculators, soon they won't learn basic maths, and finally the society will collapse. See, we allow students to use calculators and they can't learn simple maths, and then society will collapse. This is a kind of fuzzy reason, fuzzy logic in a sense. So because one simple thing and taking one simple thing and finally determines the societal collapse. So this connection is relevant. So some that is called slipping from main thing. So that is called slippery slope. Another thing is circular reasoning. So we use reasoning, but we tend to be within the circle, within the box we think of. Now, what are the things that are involved apart from this? They don't think about that. So within the box, they want to think about. For example, this is a we can say that if A is existing because of A is existing because of B, and they again say that B is existing because of A. The same thing. What they do is they cancel their own argument in one way, okay, or the other. For example, I know God exists because the Bible says so. Okay, that is accepted. Okay, a very man may say that the Bible is true because God wrote it. So whether God wrote it or Bible says so. So some kind of it's the same thing. That is some kind of paradoxical statement. That is, I say and I say no to that again. This is called circular reasoning within the box. And the next one is called hasty generalization. So taking decisions hasty with some kind of generalization that is not true, actually, making broad conclusion from too little evidence. So something like that. For example, I met two rude people in that city. So in that city, all the people must be rude. So this is my generalization. If I'm going for such kind of generalization, it cannot be right one because with the two people being rude, uh, we cannot determine that entire population, that city, are rude. So such kind of hasty generalizations generally we come across about such situations and conversations with people. Okay. The next thing is red herring. Red herring is something distracting from the real issue with irrelevant information. So they distract from real issue. Okay. For example, a reporter may ask a minister something. What will you do about rising food prices? A reporter asks, and a minister may avoid this topic and distract, something like that. Yeah, uh, our nation has a proud history of freedom and democracy. Something he says so. So that is some kind of distraction he is using in order to avoid the actual real question and real answer. Okay. And next one is appealing to authority. So it is something like that when we come across some situations about people claiming something that is true because some authority figure says so. Okay, something like that can happen. For example, some people generally say that this medicine must be safe because A famous actor uses it. Oh, a famous actor uses it. Oh, so rather than taking the exact regional qualities of medicine, how it works, and scientific base, he takes an actor to prove that importance of the medicine. So this is kind of this is some kind of fuzzy logic appealing to authority. And another error in logic that is appealing to popularity. So something is quite popular because of that, it must be a very good product, something like that. For example, everyone is buying this phone, so it must be best. So it is a generalization generally. It can happen. It is an implication, but not be true, but not the truth. In the sense, it may be true, it may not be true, but by generalizing that situation cannot lead us to truth. The basic concept about the phone is its qualities, its uh, product, how it is made, how it is useful, whatever it may be. All these qualities are important to establish that some phone is good or not, may not be good. So that is called appeal to popularity. And the next one is force cause. That is the relation between cause and effect. Something happened, and because of that, this happens. That is, this is a cause and this is effect. So, the relation between everything has cause and effect, actually. So, the connection between that, if it is not understood properly, that becomes a problem. For example, my rooster crows early in the morning. Yeah, then I wake up. And then I see after rooster crows, the sun rises. Oh, the sun rises only because of the rooster crowing. After rooster crows, every day I watch my rooster crows, and then only after 30 minutes, the sun rises. So this is the logic. And so he may come to some conclusion that rooster crows are important for sun rising. So this is not a logic, not a scientific one. But people, this is a very casual thing I'm talking about, but people mislead about cause and effect and the relation between them. So they generally give statements about many things in conversation. So that is logical fallacies. All these logical fallacies generally occur in conversations we see. And these fallacies deviate us from understanding the real points and truth, okay, in subjects, in education, okay, in conversations with people, in understanding societies, in understanding people, all these things. So, understanding about logical fallacies is very important in order to get good communication, proper conversation. Thank you for listening to my talk. Okay, meet you soon.